Greetings everyone, my name is Greg. In this video I am going to be talking about guns and gun ownership as well as the Second Amendment. The first thing I want to say right off the bat, I'm not opposed to people being able to own guns. I'm not even opposed to people being able to own automatic weapons. But be aware of something. There is a difference between being able to own something and being able to walk around the street with it. The idea of being able to have a concealed weapons permit, I question the intelligence behind that. Reason being, if you have one shooter and you have someone else that starts shooting, the chances of innocent people being killed rises with each shot. The thing is, you very rarely get into a Wild West duel type of situation. I know people might think that they're Pistol Pete or Rambo, but the truth of the matter is you're not. The truth of the matter is, regardless of how good you think you are, when you are in a situation of that nature, you're going to have to deal with your own emotions as well as other people moving around, getting in your line of sight, all number of things. And are you willing to risk the life of innocent people in order for you to try and play Rambo? In order for you to try and be a vigilante? Is their life worth risking in order for you to feel like you're being a hero? When the truth of the matter is, if you have one person shooting and then another one starts shooting, how is a police officer going to identify who the original shooter was? And with each person that would get involved, the danger is rising exponentially, because there would be absolutely no way for law enforcement to know who the original shooter was, who the civilians are that are getting involved. To them, if you would have like one original shooter and 5 others, now you have 6 shooters. The law enforcement would be going after all 6. They wouldn't be trying to be who was the original, because there's no way they would know that the others are going to stand down when the one is taken out. There is also the fact of, with each person that would get involved, how do you know they're going to be aiming at the right target? They might be targeting you and thinking that you were the original shooter when you weren't, that you're going after somebody else. And the thing is, what you're going to have is fucking chaos. You will have the Wild West, and that is not how we should be operating. I'm not opposed to people being able to own guns, but I'm also not opposed to people being able to own swords, nunchucks, or any other weapon or whatnot that they want to collect. Okay, fine. You want to be a collector, you want to have that collection in your house, that's fine. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But the truth of the matter is, in the idea of even in your own home, to protect your home, I have no problem with people protecting your castle type of thing, protect your home, protect your loved ones. But be aware that when you're in a high stress situation, your shooting is not going to be as good as it would be when you're not under high stress and your own emotions being dialed up. It really, I think people have a lot of Hollywood glamorization of what shooting a gun is like, especially, and I've said to my girlfriend when we watch movies, I want one of those no recoil guns. Shit. I love it. I shouldn't, I say this in a sarcastic manner, I love how in these various movies you see people shooting and they'll fire multiple rounds and they have absolutely no recoil. It's just one of, are you freaking kidding me? I don't care how strong you are, you're going to have a recoil from that weapon. It is just the way it is. And if you're not prepared for it, you shouldn't be firing it in the first place. The truth of the matter is, even somebody that is like an off-duty law enforcement, should they get involved? I would say most likely not. Because how would other law enforcement recognize this is someone in law enforcement? Because even if you take the attitude, well, I'm just going to try to go for the body, I'm going to go center mass type of thing, it's all well and good if you hit the target. And that's a big if. Because if they move, someone moves into the shot at the last minute, any number of things, what is termed Kentucky windage, any number of things can cause that bullet to go off course, to go where you didn't intend it to go. And then you're risking the life and safety of other people in order for you to try and play the hero. Is their life worth you're trying to act like Rambo? I would contend it's not. I would contend that in a situation of that nature, the best thing to do is lay low, stay out of basically the line of fire, but don't add to the chaos. Now, on the subject of guns and gun regulations, this is something that does make me wonder about people and their critical thinking, because we do have gun regulations that are in place, and people that are going to commit crimes, they're not going by the waiting periods and so forth. So saying about banning guns wouldn't work. Because the truth of the matter is, as the research I've done into other areas has revealed, what is termed clear web is only about 5% of the internet. That 95% of the internet is what is termed the dark web or the deep web. And that is where people can get drugs, guns, as well as child porn and all kinds of other shit, and hiring hitmen and things of that nature. The thing is, those that are interested in committing crimes, breaking the law, doing things that are against the law, aren't going to care about regulations. They're not going to care if you have more government regulations and more laws regarding guns. They don't care about that because they're not obeying the laws in the first place. So in that regard, the only ones that these stiffer regulations would really impact are those that are obeying the law in the first place. But those that are obeying the law in the first place, you don't have to worry about them because they're obeying the fucking law. In a sense, it's part of, do you see the fucking problem we have here? And what it comes down to in many ways is, and in the aspect of the debate on guns, it is more one of, is a person in favor of more government control or less government control? I'm interested in less government control. I want less government not more. I don't want to live in a society that is the government, big brother, taking care of you from cradle to grave. I do not believe in that. But there are a lot of people in the United States that seem to want that seem to want to have someone nursemaiding them and doing their thinking for them. And that disgusts me. However, we're not going to be able to prevent terrorists, criminals, whatnot, people that are just downright insane in the first place, from going out and doing whatever the fuck they want to do. They'll find a way to do what the fuck they want to do. And just because they might not be able to go to their local Walmart or gun store and get whatever weapon that they're looking for, don't think for a second that they can't get their hands on whatever the fuck they want. The deep web, the dark web, I would not suggest people go on there unless you really know what the fuck you're doing. The thing is, there are people that go on there. And there are people that buy drugs, guns, you name it. And they're doing it through what would be termed the black market. I would be curious to know what your thoughts are on the subject. Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Later, people.